Based on this unconfirmed leak, it seems like the writers are preparing to turn Tristan into a brand new, albeit incredibly tragic, hero. We have all been watching Anna struggle with those terrifying hallucinations of Peter, watching her mind slowly fracture under the immense weight of that dark presence. According to the behind-the-scenes whisper, those intense hallucinations are about to reach a catastrophic boiling point. Anna is entirely consumed by the phantom of Peter, completely losing her grip on reality and descending into a terrifying state of psychosis. In her severely altered state of mind, she becomes absolutely convinced that Britt is a dangerous threat that must be eliminated immediately. Perhaps she sees the sins of the past reflected in her, or perhaps Peter simply commands her to strike. Whatever the twisted logic might be, Anna allegedly targets Britt with lethal intent, setting the stage for a brutal confrontation that will end in absolute tears. High chances are that this terrifying encounter happens in a secluded, dimly lit area of the hospital, a place where Britt is completely vulnerable and isolated. Imagine the sheer terror washing over Britt as she realizes that the respected police commissioner is not in her right mind, that her eyes are glazed over with a murderous delusion driven by the ghost of Peter. Anna, manipulated by the phantom of her past, launches a brutal and unprovoked attack on Britt, leaving the doctor completely blindsided. It seems like Britt will be pushed to the absolute brink, fighting desperately for her life against a woman she once respected, a woman who is now acting as an unstoppable force of violent vengeance. Just when Britt falls into the most dangerous situation imaginable, the unconfirmed leak suggests that Tristan will stumble upon this horrific scene, stepping directly into the line of fire to become an unexpected savior. What if Tristan initially tries to de-escalate the situation, relying heavily on his medical training to calm Anna down and bring her back to reality? The hush-hush rumor details that Tristan will desperately attempt to intervene peacefully, trying to restrain Anna without causing any physical harm to the esteemed veteran. But Anna is no longer the rational, calculating woman we have known for decades. She is completely controlled by the hallucination of Peter, a delusion that grants her a frantic, terrifying strength. She continues to lunge violently at Britt, absolutely determined to carry out the fatal punishment dictated by her fractured psyche. Tristan quickly realizes that words are entirely useless and that Britt is mere seconds away from being murdered right in front of his eyes. Left with absolutely no other choice, Tristan is forced to use physical force to defend himself and protect Britt from this relentless, deadly assault. The truth might be way more complicated than a simple, heroic rescue mission. The behind-the-scenes whisper indicates that the physical struggle between Tristan and Anna will escalate far beyond his control in a matter of seconds, turning a rescue into a nightmare. Tristan is just trying to neutralize the immediate threat, perhaps throwing a defensive punch or forcefully pushing Anna away to create a safe distance between her and the terrified Britt. But in this chaotic, high-adrenaline moment, tragedy strikes with cruel, unforgiving precision. The unconfirmed leak reveals that Tristan's defensive push will cause Anna to lose her balance, resulting in a devastating, uncontrollable fall. She allegedly strikes her head against a hard surface with a sickening impact, suffering a catastrophic, fatal injury right there on the cold, unforgiving hospital floor. It seems like this will not be a premeditated murder orchestrated by a sinister villain, but rather a heartbreaking, senseless accident born from a desperate attempt to save an innocent life. Anna will not die at the hands of a calculated enemy, but because of a tragic misstep during a severe psychotic break caused by the lingering trauma of Peter. Imagine the sheer horror washing over Tristan as he drops to his knees, his medical instincts instantly kicking in as he frantically tries to revive the woman he just accidentally killed. The drastic storyline shift paints a haunting picture of Tristan, his hands covered in blood, staring in absolute shock as he realizes that he has just taken the life of a legendary figure in our town. The promising young doctor is instantly transformed into a man utterly destroyed by an unintentional act of violence, his future shattered in the blink of an eye. High chances are that this single, fatal moment will completely obliterate Tristan's life as he currently knows it, stripping away his career, his reputation, and his peace of mind. From a brilliant, up-and-coming surgeon with a bright, limitless future, he will suddenly find himself thrust into the center of a massive, inescapable legal nightmare, branded as a murder suspect by the very police department Anna used to run. The hush-hush rumor suggests that the authorities will not look kindly upon a new doctor claiming self-defense against their beloved, highly respected commissioner. Tristan will be drowning in an ocean of profound guilt, tormented day and night by the horrifying fact that his hands, which were meant to heal, have caused the death of an absolute icon. The psychological toll on Tristan will be immense, pushing him to the darkest, most isolated corners of his own mind. What if Britt becomes the only beacon of hope for Tristan in this overwhelming, suffocating darkness? According to the unconfirmed leak, Britt will be the sole, crucial witness to the entire horrifying ordeal. the only person who can verify exactly what happened in that hallway. She knows the absolute truth. Tristan did not want to hurt Anna. He only acted with force because Anna was inches away from ending Britt's life in a delusional rage. It seems like Britt will step up as Tristan's fiercest, most vocal defender, taking the stand to testify that this man risked everything, including his own freedom, to save her. This intense shared trauma is poised to create a profound, unbreakable bond between the two of them, linking their fates together forever. Britt, who has always been so guarded and independent, will suddenly find herself carrying a massive, unpayable debt of gratitude toward the man who sacrificed his own future. The truth might be way more complicated when it comes to their evolving, highly charged dynamic. We all saw the initial hostility, the bitter rivalry, and the explosive clashes between Britt and Tristan when he first arrived in town and took over her apartment. But this drastic storyline shift will completely flip their relationship on its head, turning animosity into a desperate reliance on one another. High chances are that this unspeakable tragedy will serve as the ultimate dramatic catalyst for an epic enemies to lovers romance that will captivate the entire audience. Britt will fight tooth and nail to clear Tristan's name, battling the rigid legal system, the grieving, angry town, and even Tristan's own crippling self-hatred. As she works tirelessly to exonerate the man who saved her, the icy walls between them will crumble, replaced by a deep connection forged in shared grief and survival. It seems like the entire town will be ripped apart and deeply divided by this controversial storyline. The behind-the-scenes whisperer hints at a town-wide, emotional mourning period for Anna, with furious, heartbroken residents demanding swift and severe justice for her sudden death. Tristan will be treated as an absolute pariah, a monster who struck down a hero, facing scorn and hatred everywhere he goes. Britt will face intense, unrelenting backlash for standing by his side, with people accusing her of lying to protect a cold-blooded killer. But Britt has never cared about public opinion, and what if this intense, suffocating pressure only pushes her and Tristan closer together, solidifying their bond? They will become an isolated, fiercely loyal unit, finding solace and understanding only in each other as they weather the massive, destructive storm of public outrage and legal persecution. High chances are that the ghost of Peter will continue to cast a long, dark, and oppressive shadow over this entire narrative, proving that his evil outlives his physical body. Even in death, his toxic influence managed to claim one final, devastating victim by driving the brilliant Anna to absolute madness. The ultimate tragedy is that Anna's stellar legacy might be permanently tainted by her final, unhinged actions, leaving her loved ones to grapple with the terrifying reality of her severe mental decline. Meanwhile, Tristan will have to carry the heavy, suffocating burden of knowing that he was the physical instrument of her demise, a weight that might prove far too heavy for a dedicated healer's heart. The unconfirmed leak suggests that Tristan's journey towards self-forgiveness will be incredibly long, agonizing, and fraught with setbacks, heavily reliant on Britt's unwavering support and newfound fierce love. The truth might be way more complicated as the official legal investigation slowly unfolds, revealing layers of secrets and suppressed medical records. Will the authorities uncover the hidden medical evidence of Anna's severe hallucinations, proving that she was not in control of her actions? Will they find undeniable proof that the phantom of Peter was driving her mad, thereby validating Britt's desperate testimony that Anna was the true aggressor in the attack? It seems like a massive, high-stakes courtroom battle is on the horizon, one that will severely test the limits of Britt's loyalty and push Tristan's sanity to the absolute breaking point. If this hush-hush rumor is indeed true, we are about to witness some of the most compelling, tear-jerking performances this show has delivered in years. The transition of Tristan from an arrogant doctor to a broken hero is a drastic storyline shift that will keep us glued to our screen. What if this is the exact harrowing storyline Britt desperately needed to finally find a love that is rooted in absolute loyalty, profound sacrifice, and unwavering protection? After everything she has lost, after all the heartbreak and betrayal she has endured, finding a man who literally threw his entire life away to save hers might be the ultimate beautiful redemption for her character. High chances are that their eventual romance will be incredibly intense, messy, and deeply emotional, built on a solid foundation of mutual trauma, undeniable gratitude, and a shared understanding of being outcasts. The behind-the-scenes whisper promises that their journey will not be easy, but it will be incredibly rewarding and deeply satisfying for those of us watching at home. However, the tragic cost of this epic, sweeping love story is the precious life of a beloved legend, a monumental price that will forever alter the fabric of this town. But remember, ladies, in a town where dark secrets are deadlier than diseases, a closed case never truly stays closed for long. If Tristan honestly thinks the grueling legal battle is his only hurdle, he is gravely mistaken, because the shadows of the past are already gathering to collect their due. Sleep with one eye open, because the real nightmare hasn't even begun.